Hi y'all, so you're back on here with another episode of the Indigo Podcast. And today, got a bunch of different things I want to go over, just some life updates, things of that nature. So yeah, we're just going to get into the first thing. So first thing I want to go over is just some life updates, mainly over 10K prep, but also just some personal things at the end, I guess. So first thing, obviously 10K prep. So the race is coming up. It's about 2 weeks away. I'm currently in peak week right now, so we're peaking at 45 miles. But how do I feel about the 10K? Just goals for the race. Honestly, it's my first 10K ever, so I don't really have a specific goal time. I do have a pace, obviously, so I'm aiming for anywhere from 5:45 to 6 flat. That's just based on my 5K time and my half marathon time, because in my half marathon I ran like 6:13 average. Then in the 5K, I ran 5:40 average. So I'm like, okay, let me meet in the middle. And I think that's doable for a 10K because it's literally in the middle of those distances, roughly. So in terms of how I feel about it, I feel okay about it. I ain't gonna lie, because this prep, mentally, it has nothing to do with the prep specifically, but just things in the background that's been going on in my life. Mentally, it's been a bit harder to manage in comparison to the half marathon prep. During that prep, I just felt like I was floating. Like, that's the best I ever felt aerobically and just physically speaking. But how I feel about it, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens, but in terms of like a clear goal, like a time, I have no idea. I mean, I probably will be around 30 to 35. I have no idea. Like I said, I don't really know. I mean, my Garmin said like, I don't know, 33 or something. I might be completely off, but I feel all right about it. We'll just see when we see. It's in Houston this time. It's not in Sugar Land, so it's closer to home, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I feel okay about it. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I get as nervous as I usually would with races. Like in high school, I ain't gonna lie, like earlier high school years, I would be dead nervous. I'd be shivering in my boots, my gang. What am I gonna do? The world's about to end. But now I'm like, okay, I've prepped for this. I'm more experienced. So just kind of part of the process, and you kind of just learn how to adapt to the race and just be more relaxed about it. Last thing I want to go over with 10K prep is going over this morning's workout, which is a 4x mile workout, 2.5 minute recovery. So I have the workout right here. I'm gonna just walk through the whole thing, the warm up and the recovery, all of that. So first part of the workout was obviously the warm up. So this is 15 minutes, 56 seconds, 2 mile warm up, 7:58 minute per mile pace. Then the first rep of the mile, 5:53 pace, obviously. I'm not gonna just repeat the pace. I mean, the time tells you the pace is a mile. So recovery, 2.5 minutes, run. Why did I read it like that? I know, because I put the whole Garmin picture in here. I'll put it on the screen right here so you can get an idea what I'm looking at. But second rep, 5:50, recovery. Third rep, 5:47. Ooh, bro was low-key cooking. Nice. And then recovery, 5:52, cool down, about 11 a minute. Words are hard. I'm going to put that in a blooper soon. I don't know if y'all just saw the bloopers video I did. That was hilarious to edit. That's definitely going on. I might keep that in. I don't know. But 11 minutes, you rounded up as 10:59. And then it was 1.29 miles, to cool down, 8:32 average. So overall, I ain't a lot of reps. They kind of hurt a little bit. I mean, with mile repeats, they're very energy demanding for me at least. And this is the farthest like rep wise distance I've done so far in this prep. I mean, this will be because it's the peak, but overall it was cool. It was a good way to close it out, because last week was actually supposed to be my peak week, but I made a new mistake, and I'm kind of glad it happened that way, because in the back half of the week I just didn't feel well, to be honest. I felt kind of off, so I'm kind of glad it happened that way. The universe works in funny ways. But yeah, I mean, overall 10K prep has been cool. Like mentally, I haven't been all the way there, so that has nothing to do with like workouts at all. In terms of the workouts, actually, I think I'm ahead of pace in comparison to the half marathon, which is, I mean, you would think that because you got the half marathon, you have that under your belt, then you're going into something further, so you should be more athletically better. That makes no sense, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, that's the first part, 10K prep. But second part is my current mental state and how life has been as a whole. So I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of up and down. And I attribute this to comparison, because honestly, this morning, I have this app called Screen Zen. If you don't use it, maybe it's a good tool to use if you have trouble managing screen time. But I just limited it from 9:45 to like 6. No, actually, no, I did put it at 6 p.m. at first, but I changed it to 5 p.m. And that's just kind of the block of time I'm normally doing something. So I just did an exam before this, currently recording a podcast, and then I'll go to the gym, yada, yada. I just had to strictly limit it, because I just noticed if I'm on social media within that time period, I just start wandering off and doing things I shouldn't be doing, which is being on the internet chronically comparing myself, And I ain't gonna lie, I just, when you dwell in that and you just looking at all these highlights, and the funny thing is I've said all this publicly on here, and the thing is I'm doing everything I said not to do, which is hilarious. And I find that with a lot of people, you give people advice, and you give people just nice voice cracking, but you give people just things to use in life, or whatever, to put it that way. And when it comes to yourself, you just act like, oh, I don't know anything, like I didn't tell you to do that. Like, I'm gonna act like I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And I've acted like I don't know what to do. I've honestly thought about just re-listening to these podcasts. Honestly, when I edit, I'll treat that as my re-listening period, I guess. And I don't really go back as much as I should have, in my opinion, to re-listen to what I actually say. And obviously, it's good to get second opinions. You don't want to just think, oh, I'm always right, because we're never always right. I mean, we get some things right, but it's good to, be a student, a lifelong student. But it's just when you compare, you just lose touch of reality. And that's kind of scary, because if you lose touch of reality, you lose touch of who you are and who you want to be. And honestly, that's what I lost touch of. I started like disassociating from reality. I started just forgetting just mundane things, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I was up and down, because there would be some periods I'm on social media more, some periods I'm not. And I've just noticed when I'm on social media more, my mood fluctuates depending on how much I'm on social media, right? So honestly, I kind of lost hope a little bit. I'm like, bro, like, Kaden, how are you going to shake back from this? Because the thing is, I've shook back from a lot of hard times in my life, but with social media and just kind of my mental state right now, it was very difficult for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you kind of lose hope in that instance. You just kind of just think of all the most negative things that can happen. And I've just noticed, like, during the workout, I was just telling myself, like, it's so cheesy, so cliche, but I was telling myself, like, bro, you can do it. And it's just something as simple as that, you know what I'm saying? A three-letter sentence. English is hard again. Just something as simple as that, it can kind of ground you and help you, like, narrow your focus on what you're doing and keep you present. You know what I'm saying, like, okay, this is me doing this. This isn't this person doing this. This isn't that. It's you. This is your life right now. Focus on it, because, if you don't, you can lose it, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I've had a lot of hard days recently. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. And I mean, I think it's good to be more vulnerable on here. I mean, just for me, some people don't want to share as much. I mean, obviously, there's some things you shouldn't share. Obviously, you shouldn't just vent on social and be like, hey, logging off and just start, just spamming. But it helps you relate to people and helps show people that you're not alone. I mean, obviously, that's cheesy. I've heard people say that so many times, but seriously, though, because I've just noticed with social media, like, so many people use it. Everybody uses it damn near. So you have to be weary of that, because if you're just comparing and you're looking for approval, which I'll get into later, you can get in a very dark spot. And honestly, I feel like I was shadowboxing myself. And actually not even myself, I was shadowboxing a ghost. Because the thing is, I was self-inflicting this. I was self-sabotaging myself, which I've talked about before, which is funny. I've already kind of warned myself about that, and I'm doing it anyway. But it's a dangerous spot when you're shadowboxing no one. Like, you're shadowboxing a ghost, and you're inflicting these negative thoughts and these negative annotations, or whatever you want to call it. And when you're in that state, at least from my experience, no one can really tell you what to do, because you're just kind of trapped. And I mean, when you're telling yourself these things and you're just kind of disassociating and you're not really able to compartmentalize what other people are telling you, the truth, you know what I'm saying, people that are close to you, I mean, you can get stuck, you know what I'm saying. And for me, I just had to learn that. It was funny because one of my friends said this, it was a while ago, it was Run Club with a bunch of my friends, and I was telling them about it, and she was like, bro, just take it one day at a time. Like, you don't got to think about when you're 80 and your whole legacy. Like, take it one day at a time. And for some reason, that clicked with me. Like, just be patient, bro. Like, you don't have to just figure out everything in one day and absorb all this information. Like, just take it one step at a time, do your best, and be you. Like, you don't have to be these other people on the internet. And the funny thing is, like, you have people watching you. You have people that care about you. You have people that care about what you have to say. And if you just dwell in that and you just try and be someone else, you're going to lose who you were, which is scary to me. And it scares me a lot. So that's one thing I kind of keep in mind. Like, this is your life. You have to choose what works best for you and be okay with being different, which I'll get into later. But I don't know, that's just kind of my mental state right now. And I ain't gonna lie, like I said, it's been difficult, to be honest. And it's just weird because I was functioning at like 70 to 80%, and that other 20 to 30% was missing. And I knew exactly why. But another part, at least for my journey with my mental health or whatever, like, it's a fear of change in a sense. And when you're scared of something, you just get stuck in a loop and you keep doing things that don't serve you. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I kind of want to move on now. But that was section 1, going over 10K prep, which has been cool, and going over just my mental state, because like I said, I just think it's important for someone younger and just people in general to share it, because like I said, social media is so prevalent, and you have to be very wary and very aware of your time on there, because if you're not, you will slowly lose yourself and you'll slowly just start disassociating from reality, you know. But anyway, section 2, being calm in the chaos. I'll put this in quotations because it kind of varies. It depends on what you deem as chaos. But first thing that comes to mind here is accepting that your path is and will be different than others. So I kind of just foreshadowed that earlier. This kind of goes with comparison, in my opinion, just comparing your highlights and comparing your lowlights to other people and just seeing, oh, like, does this person do this? But like, you have to be okay with your uniqueness. You have to be willing to be unique and willing to be different, you know, and just be okay with that. To add on to this, like, what do I mean by chaos? Obviously, like I put in quotations, this can vary from person to person, but life becomes chaotic, at least for me, when you're stuck in comparison and rumination. What ifs? Should I? Is this the quote unquote right thing? Is this the absolute best thing, the perfect thing? And honestly, it gets you nowhere. Because I was looking at some quotes. I have a quote from what I looked at last night on here, but I was looking at quotes, and one of them, the main gist of it was that perfection gets you nowhere. And I mean, honestly, the main reason my mental health was kind of like wishy-washy was because I was trying to make the best and the most like moral and just the best decision. When you're stuck in that mindset of perfection, it just gets you stuck, because the thing is, nothing is ever perfect and we're never going to be perfect. And I know that. It's funny because a lot of times with, you know, with mental health struggles, I'm not speaking for everybody because I can't speak for everybody, but just for me, a lot of the times when I went through, you know, darker periods, I mean, English is hard. And the thing is, when you're in that pursuit of perfection and just optimization and getting everything right, it's funny because you just get stuck, right? And you get stuck in a loop and a kind of a cycle I was mentioning earlier, and you get stuck in rumination, like the gray area. So like, what if I did this? Should I do this? What if this person says this? What if this is the wrong thing? What if I'm cooked, right? And I mean, that's kind of scary, because you're like, oh, like, you just, because the thing is, when you ruminate for a long period of time, the odds of the decision get stacked so high, and it's like a life or death decision damn near. So when it gets stacked that high, you just like, bro, I don't even want to pick either one. I'm gonna just not pick anything, right? And you just get stuck, and you just kind of lose the amount of potential you could have had, right? But to add on to this, just another main point is, you can either be your biggest supporter or biggest enemy. Another cheesy thing, but I think a lot of these things we've heard, but you know, we kind of just brush it off like, oh, okay, like that's a little pop culture, just something that people have said or whatever. But they're very true, and they're just little nuggets you can kind of keep in mind to keep yourself grounded. But anyway, to add on to this, Felix, the guest I had on last week, very good episode. I had a great time talking to him. He kind of mentioned this briefly, I ain't gonna lie. I don't have like the full like verbatim thing he said, but I'm gonna just kind of just mention him just for reference. But I just think self-talk earlier, like I was saying, like just telling myself like, you got this, like during reps. I mean, mile reps, if you're actually pushing, they're pretty difficult, right? So if you're your biggest supporter, you know, you're taking care of yourself, sleeping enough, eating well, all the whole 9 yards I talk about all the time. And on the other end, you could just say, I don't want to do this, like I'm cooked, I'm never going to be anything. And the thing is, I've talked to myself like that, which is weird. You just kind of feel defeated in a sense. And honestly, that gets you nowhere. And in the moment, you know, you're frustrated, you're upset, you're angry. So you kind of just resort to saying those things because that's how you feel, and you have a right to feel that way, right? At the end of it, if you do that consistently, you're just going to become those things, right? And the thing is, like, when I was younger and people would say like, oh, like, you know, the power of the tongue and just how you talk about yourself and how you carry yourself, just things you say about yourself, right, out loud. I mean, I was like, they don't really mean anything. But the thing is, as I got older and I started experiencing it, I'm like, oh, nah, I see. Because I mean, if you say that repeatedly, it manifests into who you actually are. And I'm saying, and it just limits yourself. But just the final thing kind of segues into the third section, giving yourself permission to save yourself. This sounds kind of weird in a sense, like, bro, save yourself. Like, what do you mean? But I just think social media in comparison tends to make us think that we're weaker than we actually are, right? So when you see, like, again, going back to the comparison, you see these people telling you how to live your life, you feel like you don't have power anymore. You don't have free will. You don't have autonomy. So when you feel that way, you don't give yourself permission to do just things you really want to do, because like, oh, if I post this short, am I going to come off as corny? Are people going to think I'm chopped? Or people going to think I'm cooked? Or like, I'm just lame? Or if I change this and they're not doing this, are people going to attack me? Are people going to just judge me, right? And I think, obviously, like I said earlier, it's good to get opinions, but at the same time, like, there comes a certain point in the rumination process, you already have all the information you need. And I've been had all the information I needed, right? And seeking permission is just trying to just give yourself approval to do that. And the thing is, the approval is here. It's within you, right? And the thing is, like, for me personally, I've just been ignoring that. Like, I know what to do. I have the intuition. I have just the wherewithal to do that. But I'm trying to seek approval just to kind of find a scapegoat, kind of get just gratification within my decision, just make sure I'm okay. But the thing is, if you give yourself permission and you just build that relationship with yourself, it will be okay. So I don't know. I just think that's really important, just giving yourself permission. Because the thing is, there's so many people out there that try and give us permission, but I feel like it's kind of just shallow because it's not really you, and you don't really feel any how I say it, I guess, any heart behind it. Like, it's just not as pure, I guess. To wrap it up though, before I just start rambling and yapping about it, I just think we have to have autonomy. We have to have the courage to carve out how we want our lives to look, not based on what society is telling us, not based on what these highlights on social media are telling us, based on what our intuition is gravitating us towards, right? What the universe is kind of telling us, hey, you should discard this, you should do this, you should lean more into this, and just being okay to take risks. So I ain't gonna lie, I've been kind of scared to take risks. I'm like, going back to the perfection thing, like, I want things to be perfect. I want things to be just optimized. I want to make the quote unquote best decision, but the best decision is so subjective. It depends. It's not objective. It's not right or wrong, or whatever the case may be. It's so nuanced, but risks are needed to grow. Risks are needed to see evolution. Risks are needed to learn more about yourself and things that you like and don't like and your preferences, you know? But the next part I want to go over is discarding the need for approval. So I've referenced this many times, but honestly, this is the main thing that was really bothering me recently. Because, you know, going back to social media again, it's just you get caught up in just these algorithms and these people saying things and just these different ideologies or whatever the case may be, and you lose that autonomy. You lose that courage to say, okay, that's cool and all, but I'm gonna do my own thing, right? So that's kind of the gist of what I'm getting at with discarding the need for approval. A quote that sums up this section, this is from Marcus Aurelius, I think that's how you say his name, but it says, approval and disapproval are equally meaningless. What matters is that you know what is right and whether you do it. So going back again, this is subjective, but you know, the minutia of life, like, oh, what's my favorite color? Oh, like, how do I eat? What's my diet? Or like, what shoes do I want to wear? What's my workout split? Like, these are things that are subjective. These are things that vary from person to person due to different circumstances, right? So what do I think about this quote and what does it mean to me personally? I mean, the main thing that sticks out to me is approval and disapproval are equally meaningless. What it means to me personally, I mean, that honestly makes you feel a bit better about it, because like, either way, it doesn't matter. I'm saying they're meaningless either way. So therefore, since they're meaningless, it kind of goes back to earlier. I think it was episode 113. I think that was the first one I came back with or whatever. It being meaningless allows you to assigning meaning to your life. Now it's coming back to me. So just the fact that, you know, life doesn't necessarily have a meaning. Life is technically meaningless, you know, in certain ways. So since it's quote unquote meaningless, you can attribute however you want that life to look. So just hearing that, it just kind of gives me that autonomy and that permission, like, hey, since these are both meaningless, pick the meaning you want. I'm saying it can be different from other people, can be different from the standard that society's put in place. It's yours, right? It's your life to live. It's your path. So carve it however you want, make risks and, well, take risks, that's what I mean. And just make mistakes and just be okay with not being perfect. Because I mean, perfection is the enemy of good. So that's kind of what I think about the quote and what it means to me personally. Obviously, different people can interpret it differently. But next thing I want to go over is, why do humans seek external approval? So I got this off of Google. Didn't make this up, but it says it's rooted in early caregiving experiences, reinforced by social and cultural preferences, and amplified by our brain's reward system. While occasional approval seeking is normal, persistent reliance on it can undermine self-esteem and mental well-being. Recognizing these roots is the first step towards building a more self-reliant sense of value. So, I'm gonna lie, I had some trouble reading that, lol. But how am I working to discard the need for approval currently? Not gonna lie, this is very difficult, like I talked about earlier, but the main question I need to ask, and maybe for you as well, is what do I want my life to look like, not anyone else's? So, I mean, it's so subjective. That's the thing. You have a lot of options, right? And the thing is, a lot of options make you less likely to pick a decision, right? Because you're like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. And then the rumination starts, and you just get in a cycle of indecision, right? So going back to this other quote earlier, this is the only quote I mentioned, but the quote I said earlier, approval and disapproval, are equally meaningless. So either way you go, it matters, but like what you pick doesn't really matter, because at the end of it, it's going to teach you a lesson and it's going to carve out your path. Because I feel like the universe always has a way of working for us. I wouldn't say in our favor, but working for us and teaching us what we need to learn. And that kind of happens when things that we didn't wish to happen, like inconveniences. Like, let's say, for example, my 400-meter race, I wanted to break 60. I didn't break 60. That happened for a reason. Even though I wanted to break 60 right there, I didn't for exact reason, because that got me to where I am now. So on. Any instance where we kind of fail or fall short, or whatever the case may be, that happens for a reason. I'm saying, and that kind of goes back, at least in my opinion, that approval and disapproval, or a good outcome or a bad outcome, or whatever the case may be, they're equally meaningless. You know what I'm saying? Because they all get you to where you need to be. I don't know. I just think the biggest thing with me that I need to work on, just letting go of perfection, letting go of comparison. And I just think so many people, they compare their looks, they compare their social position, they compare their financial situation, anything, just who they are as a person as a whole. They just compare it over and over and over again, and you're just slowly beating yourself up. And I just feel like that's what I was doing. I was slowly destroying myself, just looking at all this. Oh, this person doing this person thinks this, but I don't think this. Or like, am I bad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but reality, everything is fine. It'll all be okay at the end, and you don't have to stress yourself out over that. Because honestly, stressing yourself out does more harm than good, and it just keeps you stuck in indecision. You're not doing anything. You're not necessarily moving forward or backward. You're just stuck, right? And I feel like that feeling of being stuck is it carries a big weight, because you're just like, I want to do this. Should I? The what ifs and stuff I was saying earlier. You're just stuck in that, and you haven't made a move. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? That risk could teach you something. Maybe you do it and you're like, that's not for me. Maybe I made the wrong choice. But you learn from it. You learn what works for you and what doesn't. But anyway, to close the podcast up, just the main point, just make sure y'all take care of yourselves. Like, sleeping well. I've stressed the eating well so many times on this podcast. Just controlling your social media use, not just completely logging off. I mean, if you want to do that, cool, but just managing your time, being aware of how long you're on there and what you're looking at and what your feed looks like. 'Cause I mean, you can unfollow people, you can make a burner account and just be on there most of the time. Like, I have a second account, like I guess a spam, if you want to call it that. Like, sometimes I'll just be on there and that'll be the first thing I see. So when I open it, I'm not on my main account. I don't see all of this stuff, because I follow a decent amount of people. But yeah, I mean, just take care of yourself mentally and just be present, bro. Because I feel like if you're not present, I've said this many times, but you'll lose yourself or start disassociating, and you'll just lose count of who you want to be. Because I mean, I feel like with consistency, I've said the whole 9 yards plenty of times, but if you're consistent and courageous and willing to take risks, you can be whatever you want to be. Obviously, there's some systematic issues, like in the government, for example, that can hinder people from doing things. I'm aware of that. But in the grand sense, if you apply yourself and you just trust yourself and you trust your intuition, you can be greater than you ever thought. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't think I'd be running half marathons. Like, gang, if you told me that, I'm like, bro, huh? Like, what are you saying? Like, no, there's no way. But I mean, things change and things fall into place, and you just end up somewhere like, dang, like, I did that. And I'm saying, obviously, you want to get help from others, but if it doesn't start within, I mean, I don't think you can really get anywhere. If you just tell yourself, oh, I don't like myself, oh, this person's better than me, I think you're going to be stuck, because you're following that person's footsteps instead of your own. But anyway, that's episode. Enough of me yapping. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'm going to see y'all next time.